Bonsoir, bonsoir, bonsoir. Bienvenue sur un nouvel épisode du Elysium. J'espère que cette fois-ci on va un petit peu avancer parce que c'est un peu mou quand même. Alors il me semble que toi je devais te parler à toi là. Alors, c'est un peu mou quand même le jeu.
Hola, wandering man. How
Ah.
can I help you? A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I knew this man was a-coming. And it's a good thing you're doing too. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth who he is and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really...
Is he actually comparing you, an officer of the law, to some neighborhood vigilantes? Come on. He's just trying to keep the peace.
Il n'y a qu'une seule loi, l'ami, c'est moi.
The man whispers a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his head.
We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. It's not enough. Not enough to get ahead. More about keeping all of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt... Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of the...
Not you, you would like to say. But then there's that weasel door. This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Sure thing.
This was great. You feel mentally reinvigorated.
Ok. Allons ouvrir, enfin, ouvrir ou pas cette porte. Non, par là.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the... You knock silently. The upholstery muffles...
I guess no one is in? Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hanging, on the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrard we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task. You make the call.
The door is right here. You can just open it and be done with it. Besides, if you never open it, you're never gonna find out what's behind the door. The door is slick with rain. You don't hear... In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe they...
Attends. Ah ben, il allait me poser la question, vous voulez rentrer ou pas? J'aurais pu essayer de nuit en fait. Attends. Et...
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbol, a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vague. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the body. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much. Of course, so very free. And so fun. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then...
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same...
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's...
Ah, attends. Ah, tu me...
A row of mugs sits on the shelf.
Les autres, ils me le montrent plus, mais...
A row of mugs.
Who knows?
You could ask Everard. Yes, you're broken.
There's the missing teens, and now they've...
An interesting little clue. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often. A little ring. There's something. The images betray. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very anytime. The lieutenant picks up.
I'm beginning to feel better about...
Ah, attends.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez.
Ah, parce que je réponds toujours pas. La réponse possible.
It's also about that, but it's also more. Perhaps it's time to become a citizen of the kingdom of conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only been... It is, isn't it? History's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. Tisk tisk. Just because you live in the, you may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. What rationality? What a fucking joke. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. It's also post-industrial. Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner.
Ouais, j'ai deux trucs à regarder, mais... Ah, -2. Pas débloquer. Allons, non.
Master investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Encore. C'est ça que je pourrais enlever. Ah, c'est... Ça me fait chier de les enlever. Je peux pas les chercher. Bah, de toute façon, je peux pas l'enlever.
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. How can I help you today? I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Exactly the kind of fascist memorabilia I was expecting. Weasel probably prays to it every night for the downfall of the Union. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment. You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I...
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow...
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this, but he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are.
That's all he's going to say on this subject.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in...
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us. I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, one of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punish...
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us..." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them...
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to...
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' rights. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure...
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strike.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes. He's not scared of them. If anything, he likes them being here. Strange.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Got a lot.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some... Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else?
Mm-hmm.
Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And, of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yeah. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to...
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat? He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think it wants to be found? I think it's lonely and cold.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta. I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs. And there's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people... Martinez is the most important thing in my life. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their
He means it.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez. And maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock. but they should fix it by Wednesday morning. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
Honourable One, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honour points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous. Oh, the modesty on this one. Another 10. You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers, an honour cop. Yes, your deeds have spoken for you, Honourable One, but to fully drape oneself in an eternal cloak of honour, even among the honourable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. But honour comes from deep within you, and to truly know oneself, to know one's honour, you need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honours.
N'importe quoi.
Most dishonourable are those who have known honour, carried honour in that you brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished by this most shameful of deeds.
N'importe nawak.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period.
I'm no property lawyer, but it looks fine. I like the print size. They're not selling or leasing anything. It's not a perfect solution, but...
How else are you going to build something? It's always inconvenient. The youth centre cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall. Practically, this is either an ominous or cool. My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
I should have seen it. Everard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Everard won't believe you got villager signatures if you...
Alors, j'ai rien en vigueur. Jour 2, qu'est-ce que je... Là, je vois l'autre côté, ça c'est 21h. Ah, c'est l'autre côté. Ah oui, peut-être retourner à... zone du syndicat.
You're back before the cargo container.
Ah non.
Its draw has not lessened since you were...
Pour, Attends, je sais pas si on pouvait passer par... Ah non.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Incriminating. Everard? And what did he tell you? That we killed him? That we took a cargo belt from the harbor? Because we did. All of us together. I hope he told the story straight. I hope he...
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
C'est là que il n'a pas avoué.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
You don't have to answer any of his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to...
Known him? We don't associate with scum like that.
Yeah! Who do you think we are?
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed in.
By the Pines cow, you mean Joyce Messier? The representative for White Pines? The same company you're striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But you know... Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask her hard enough.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. At Cohoy and Seminole.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it. But I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, I'm RNE's goddamn special forces, and I...
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNE's paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everything.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did. Right there.
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the straight? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah, this girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got...
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you fucking
Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No. You're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. Now,
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
who do you fucking think does?
It wasn't a question, dickwad. How fucking stupid are you?
This asshole is worse than... Titus runs the Hardy Boys.
I think you got your answer, Mr. Law.
Yes, there are some administrative differences. But on that night, they all acted as one man.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man had to die. We hanged him up by his neck until he got real
Didn't they teach you anything at the cops?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of act. This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to clarify anything.
We overpowered him, dragged his unconscious body to the tree, put a noose around his neck.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots...
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar!
Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much.
42%.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
C'est 12. Plus 1, 5 qui doit être certainement.
Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how... Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Like what, copper?
You don't have to keep...
I know, Lizzie. Relax. Why not? Yap my ear off. I got nothing to... Why? 'Cause he was... And...
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up...
A live grenade.
This one has a special gripe.
I can't prove it, but I know. Wrong? Here.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange, he regrets meant
To kill us all.
Yeah. He said,
He grabbed someone?
yeah. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets knocked on.
No.
there's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
A fearful readiness, like an electrical charge. Raising by your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Look, coppers, I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us and 2 of you.
That's an Easter 50, a Ziemsk-made monstrosity. It'll blow your head clean off.
Mhm. Parce que vu que physiquement c'est pas le machin, est-ce que je risque de tenir?
The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast, not an echo. No one screams. It's more dead cops. Sad news from the...
Oups. Ah oui, carrément là, il n'y avait pas de sauvegarde avant.
Master Investigator. You just can't keep yourself away from Attaboy, the...
D'accord. Alors attends. Ah oui d'accord. J'aurais dû faire une sauvegarde alors. Il y a pas de sauvegarde juste avant. Ah oui d'accord. Super. Pas de sauvegarde automatique. Allez, plus vite. Hein. Attends, est-ce que je peux rentrer? La sauvegarder. Après que je sois rentré ou avant? Allez le jeu, dépêche-toi. Et...
Mr. Dubois, every worker, member of the board. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You're right, Harry. You own... Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time... By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The Harry, this strike is...
You mean our victim?
A security contract. I'm talking B. Everything they did there, they brought over... Now, I haven't personally witnessed... Yes, but enough about... One of them got...
By...
Harry, we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us... There's a militant... They're like you...
So the...
He probably...
Aren't you worried?
Oh, I'm not at all...
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you.
How do I know? Last winter, some poor... These guys turn up and...
So you believe...
You said it.
That does sound... He's not scared of them.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably... Oh, they are Old Theo...
Interesting.
They're almost... Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight. But of course.
You can now go...
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But Was it a good tour? I don't know what happened. Yes, Harry?
A man of the left. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart...
And what would isn't?
Once again, I require nothing unethical.
It depends.
But...
As I said,
He's saying as little as possible.
I'm glad you... There's a nameless little street on the coast. On the coast, Harry. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. You need to get Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like by all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 4.
I'm no property lawyer.
How else are you going to build something? The youths and it's going to be all... This is either, and my money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite.
C'est pas le même que tout à l'heure.
There is no loophole. The simple... Once the construction starts, it'll probably...
I should have seen it. Evra probably has. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything.
Et dans quoi j'avais mis, moi? Les anciennes.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinique. The air suddenly feels calmer. It's time to become a citizen of... It is not a place. It is. Isn't history's greatest? That's the genius of Dolores Day. Tisk tisk. Just you may never live. What a fucking joke. The kingdom, partly because you met. It's also post in... Slow down. That's right. Honorable one, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. Oh, you are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest. Yes, even among the honor comes from deep within. You need to bring the thumb of your...
What are you doing? Well, don't. Have you no self-control?
The lieutenant is a noble man, but he does not know. Congratulations, honorable one. You have become a member of a noble faculty. Go forth and commit even more honorable deeds. And should your resolve, it is an honor to serve with you, honor cop.
N'importe n'importe ce truc. Surproduit. Ah oui, moins 4 en glande. Moins 4 en ardent. Bon, on va aller de machin et on va sauvegarder cette fois-ci. Hein. 5 en communisme, 6 en fasciste. Putain. On se bouge, monsieur les policiers.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Incriminating, Everard. And what did he tell you? Because we...
There's a catch hidden somewhere.
There is no catch. These 7 honest...
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an
You don't have to answer.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him.
Known him?
Yeah.
Quiet.
By the Pine Scout.
No. Why don't you ask?
That's enough insinuation for today, Tite. Are you deaf? Do you think you could do...
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
Who do you fucking think does? You keep him the fuck out of this.
When Titus Hardy says he runs the Hardy Boys, he means that in an administrative capacity. On that night, everyone acted as...
Why? 'Cause I am.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows...
A live grenade.
This one has a...
I can't prove it.
Because one night...
Really?
Yeah, really.
We couldn't believe...
This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong?
From rape, he regrets it.
To kill us all.
Yeah.
He grabbed some...
Yeah. Show me your con. Why don't you show me your...
Aren't you fucking...
Yeah.
Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned.
No.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you?
You're pretty sure you...
Can you give us a few more?
Titus.
We overpowered.
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots, and you fucks. Weren't you fucking listening?
Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much.
With numbers and...
No, he hasn't. Not yet. Actually, they're admirably... So, well, this one. But he's always fidgeting. So...
Like what, Copper? How many people have you...
Or send them to reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
But you see, a law. How many people have you...
Or send them to reunion to rot. For 20... Oh, so you are just a simple, well...
He's clearly been in solitary confinement. And at a young age, nonetheless.
So he's hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Yeah, lawman.
It's almost an anthropological site. watching him
Not in the
a fearful readiness by your side, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve. There's a knife in there.
Look, coppers, I know you think you're doing your job here.
That's an Easter 50, a Ziemsk made.
The little guy? You're the little guy now.
So, little guy, you had some questions?
Beneath everything, he's grateful. Just a bit. You don't force him to get ugly.
Yeah, little questions.
We hang.
Didn't they teach you anything at the
rien.
cops?
You're pretty sure you...
Can you give us a few?
Titus, you
We overpowered.
Then we left him for seagulls.
Like what, copper?
nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. Some things don't add up here, Titus. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder, even if it is a group responsibility.
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials.
Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
Passer.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? Let me state this very clearly, capo. Hello, officer.
Explosive laughter follows. To his men, Titus Hardy is a golden god. They want to laugh at his joke, but having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Again, just get the dead guys.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you waiting? What are we going to do to you?
Why did you say that? Did you forget your...
The Union isn't going to do anything to you.
Uh-huh. Goddamn right.
If anything, it is the RCM who...
Ok. Ouais, mais ça... ça doit être armé et tout le bordel aussi.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see. Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic. Repel. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. You're back. Good. What can I help you? Oh? A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Oh my.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
That's good to hear, Detective.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal.
This seems serious.
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
The company did not send mercenaries after the Union. I told you in great detail. I just hope you don't share Everart's view on things. After all, as he said...
Let's keep it that way, she means to add, but then doesn't. Look who's defensive suddenly.
I wouldn't have taken Everart for a saber rattler. Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress? Or he wants you and me to believe he's calm and in control.
There's always that risk, man. But if I may offer my opinion, he means it.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for relaying this
This gave her pause. She's pensive, suddenly. Hard to say about what.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating. Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later.
Et... Il est 16h. Je sais plus si on peut avancer le temps.
The worn map features the patch. Your finger moves through the various streets, finally coming to a halt.
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the Map tab.
It's just a racist mug. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was in...
Ça, on pourrait refaire ça ou... Il accepte toujours pas d'examiner le corps. Allez, cours, bordel.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots, anywhere from 6 to... Wow, still not doing it.
92%.
You're bad at this.
Un plus 1 égale...
Don't beat yourself down. Neither can I. We'll have another look later.
There are several footprints in the mud. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dead. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar.
Dégueulasse. C'est bon, tu t'es vidé. C'est dégueulasse.
You feel a great force ringing from your stomach. Your body curls and pushes until a pool of vomit lies under your feet. And the smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. There's the fruit nearby. Maybe they have some in their apothecary. If they don't, there's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have something for the smell.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Ammoniac apporte c'est blanc. Et là bah oui.
You see a set of tire tracks.
Is this about the question?
She looks up from her magazine.
Yes. What we have is there, in the medicine cabinet. Go take a look yourself. A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care.
She looks up from...
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
A small cabinet on the wall is filled...
Okay. Don't, like, overdo it or something.
Pas mon besoin. D'accord.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear a colourful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister.
Peut-être pour QNO, machin.
Does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Moi, je suis...
Kuno's Kuno. You already know that slow shit. Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaught. Kuno's Kuno. Kuno thinks you have... Kuno, stop being... Ease off, see? Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno can do. What else you want, Pigman? Yeah? The king... The fuck? Yeah? Kuno's... I can't eat... Shit, that's... Kuno doesn't know... Stop turning into... Yeah? Get your bacon shit up... Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't fuck...
There he still is, looking right through you
28%,
with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emit
Active decay.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
L'autre, il peut pas les examiner s'il va tout dire.
Are you okay, officer? You're facing tough odds here. It's aggravated further by alcohol withdrawal. No. This is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it for special bonuses and...
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Hmm. 30 minutes. Quand tu veux, j'intériorise. Pour l'instant, je peux pas autoriser. Faut oublier, j'ai rien. D'être bloqué. Il est 17h. Pour de l'autre côté. Pour l'instant, je pense que c'est possible. 21h. De l'autre côté. Ça passe aussi de l'autre côté, je pense.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? It's about biological determinism, not the most popular.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in... Open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? The problem?
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the kids of Boogie Street are going. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Good. If we...
Lieutenant Kitsaragi's stern expression remains unchanged. Oh no, not too happy.
It's about not the...
Change the topic. The way he said...
I'm not just racist. People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, open your eyes. Haven't you noticed something different lately? This concerns you, police.
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the kids of Boogie Street are going. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen? Good. If we...
Lieutenant Kitsaragi's stern... Oh no, not too happy.
Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock work... The strike? Oh, they've been at... Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something.
Yeah, apples? I take it you had... Oh, yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was someone with a cart. Sure fucking is. We have a goddamn right. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck him right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of... it's about not the...
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally... So, lately we Occidentals have experienced the problem?
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing... Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but...
Lieutenant Kitsaragi's stern expression remains unchanged. Not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks. What happened? Did your balls shrivel up? You had plenty of chances to get off this road, but no, you let this guy keep talking. Then, when the time came to make your choice...
it's about not the
Change the topic. The way he says it.
I'm not just... People who've studied these things say that you and me are So, lately we... The problem?
Cultural victory? What is this then?
It's what the kids of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers. Good. If we, the evening people, pull together...
Lieutenant Kitsaragi's... Oh no, not too happy.
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes... They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. Not in... Not...
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through...
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't...
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was none of... Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend. Just follow the smell. It's me.
Yes, yes.
Looks like I offended your partner there. Two, his tribe are natural liars.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what's...
Guess so.
Alors attends. C'est pas lui.
You see a Samaran street vendor. The name Sileng is...
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer. You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! Oh, yes! You got style. You like premium menswear. Look around and browse.
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. Questions?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All reversal. Very cool. I like your style, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works...
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and...
Realizing he can't get out of it.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole. Nothing. I told you.
And what crowd is...
Crowd, you know.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. Maybe. If she is,
It could be. He's not ruling her out.
all of them. I don't know. I told you all
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or...
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detective.
is still hunched over the railing, her head swaying to the music, her eyes looking at nothing.
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Diamonds? Of course not. Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself.
She says that as if something narcotic is the...
Oh, it's so much more than a high.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick.
Then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take... Did you just call me a lady, Herife?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it. The woman's malevolent cackling fills.
I'm a lady like you are Gabriel Buenguerro. Only in dreams. I'm only terrifying to small children, and to those who used to know me. Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? Oh, Sim.
On peut rien récupérer.
A lorry stuck in the trap. The windows are clear. They've been The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The back end of the cabin has a book with ragged edges catches your note.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared racist.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. A dark...
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the lorrymen and...
You've seen the corpse in the yard, yes? You took a peek. I know you did. Does it look like his friends protected him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most and, of course, what social sensibilities you're bringing to the table. Remain sensitive. People are watching.
Oh yeah? And what goods are those? There's some kind of homo thing? Make me, runt.
We'll just have to ask someone else about the lady driver. Let's go.
Looking for something, Runt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Pas assez de... Moi j'étais à 72%. Pas fonctionné.
Make way for the master poet. I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. I didn't, man. I told you, I was hoping it's not her.
He still is. Hoping. It's just emotional rhetoric. He knew something and he didn't share it with you. That...
A friend? An acquaintance? I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay? A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool...
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Dyed. It was violet when she got...
Then she may have dyed it again.
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver. Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is...
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it...
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a...
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But the way it worked, the trouble it was giving her. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay?
He's right. There are other options. The racemen. Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances. And push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill.
Here. Her lorry's still here, down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday. She left them to me because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose.
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
I bet you are.
And he's sorry he couldn't be what he wants to be. A good person. His last line, his revenge.
No, I don't know.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir. I know it was hard, but you did the right thing.
You don't really think so?
I really do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be in the RCM.
This screen found.
This is the one our man pointed to.
You push the key into the lock and turn. It makes a cracking sound. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile. These are movie posters. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin. The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably grenade number 5. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom. The actresses and the rear actor looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but...
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. Doesn't look like it. It's complete for contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and U. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a...
The smell of 1,000 cigarettes. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The movie stars are still smiling. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of Periphérique from last Wednesday. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain...
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. You close the rusty old lock.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before...
Ok, mais ça c'est fait, hein. On a réussi à faire ça. Alors, au revoir à Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? Yes. And will you start an official investigation?
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should...
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I'm sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid...
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's...
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not... Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman. While he was drunk and separated, he was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2... It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into...
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single, concrete suspect before they... If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will...
They would have to project strength.
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's these men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatic...
As I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as they boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good Sadly, no. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was. He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a
What else? Nationality? Act?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around
The lieutenant consults his notebook.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did...
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometimes that's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Est-ce que ça passe?
This is so embarrassing. You have no idea. There's something wrong with your brain. Luckily, the lieutenant still has his.
Ma'am, with all due respect, I've been around Martinez, and there's a giant hulk of a man in ill-fitting clothes at the harbor gates. Mr. Wright...
Not a terribly good actor, that one.
And the other must be in one of the 4-story buildings overlooking the roundabout. He or she was reporting back to you while we were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That would afford a good vantage point. Still, I hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
Heureusement que le coéquipier est là.
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal... It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything...
Ok. Bon, ça serait bien peut-être mettre...
All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into...
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard... My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able...
In short, this is a future angle, possibly a good one.
Debrief over, after you.
On va parler à...
You're back. Good. What can I... Of course. Anything to help. Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. They were dispatched.
Every worker...
A member of the board. Absolutely not.
Who are they?
Crenell. And they wear ceramic armor.
So, what happened?
The story is, he was taken out. Nothing. It's a smokescreen.
What is the nature of this?
Whether to execute one, some.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
It was the Union who strung him from that tree. My hope is that you provide a single concrete... If you don't pin this on someone good...
They would have to project...
The débardeurs have over 2,000 men.
Have you ever seen a... These men were...
The muzzle loaders need to...
As I said, a bloodbath. Too many things have already gone wrong. All we can do is keep that which is not from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered... I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news.
Ok. IP et termine avec son... Ah oui d'accord, pour terminer ça il faut que je fasse... Ah, il n'y a pas de points. Ah, je peux pas le faire. Ah. Et le corps. Ah non, inspecteur le cœur, faut terminer cette étape. Par l'inspecteur. Qui a acheté les vêtements. Ouais. Là, 21h. Ça. Ouais, 18h. Un truc pour avancer le temps. Hein. Là, je vois pas ce que tu fais pour avancer le temps. Voilà. Ouais, mais là, je vois pas.
The door is closed. Still nothing the lieutenant gives you. He doesn't like where this is. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole.
Stop that.
This door can only be opened with a key or from...
Y'a rien. Donc l'autre il est là en fait.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face.
Toujours pas le truc pour faire.
The bed is still cold from the broken.
Ouais, mais là parce que là moi je sais pas quoi encore faire. Ouais. Il y a 3 heures, je vois pas quoi faire. Ah. Hein? Où aller? Là, là on peut toujours ça je peux pas le faire parce qu'on peut pas interroger, pas inspecter.
Yes?
Ouais. Ouais, il faut faire ça, ça peut pas suivre. C'est ça le plus important. Le principal. Ouais, mais là, tant qu'il est pas 21h pour... Ah. Il manque encore 35 points. Pas le désactiver. Peut-être autre chose qui passe. Ouais, bon. Là pour ce live. Je sais même pas comment on fait pour tout avancer. Regardez là. Et bien sur ce, je remercie la personne qui serait passée à tout arrivé. Et je vous donne rendez-vous à un prochain live. Merci à tous. À bientôt pour la suite. Au revoir.
many miles we walk, the many things we learn, the building of a shrine, only just to burn. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. May the wind be at your back, good fortune touch your hand. May the cards lay out straight, all from your command. That's the way it is. That's the way